This is a video for solving some check engine error codes on a Chevy Cruze. This is a 2013 Chevy Cruze LT, which is the 1.4 liter turbo. The error codes I have on this are P0171, which is Bank 1 System 2 Lean. The other one I have is P1101, which has something to do with the intake airflow. Whenever the system's too lean, it has something to do with the fuel-air ratio. If it's too rich, you have too much fuel and not enough air. And if it's too lean, in this case, we don't have enough fuel and we have too much air. So the lack of fuel could be caused by a clogged fuel filter, or maybe we have excessive air leaking into the engine. So doing a simple internet search, I found that there's a common issue with these, and that's the PCV valve failing, when that allows air to suck into the engine. So let's go take a look. So the engine's running. It's running really rough at idle. I can also hear a hissing sound. The PCV valve is right back behind here. I'm going to pull this cover off, set it somewhere safe. You can really hear that hissing. This is the PCV valve, and oh yeah, there's a lot of air sucking in there. That's not right. So we're going to have to change that PCV valve. Okay, in order to replace this PCV valve, we need to change out this entire valve cover. It's all one assembly. We'd have to start by removing this coil pack. It's held down by 2 torque screws. Those take a T30 bit. Of course, we also have to remove this electrical connection. There are 15 of these star head screws, and those take an E10 socket. Don't laugh at my Harbor Freight tool. And of course, we'd have to remove this oil fill cap, the dipstick, and then get some of these cables out of the way. This is the new valve cover assembly and PCV valve. The part number is 251-98877. This assembly comes with all 15 of the star head screws and the valve cover gasket. Here's the valve cover removed. This connector was a little tricky to get off. I had to get this orange piece moved over to there to the right, and I had to really work this way out. I used a screwdriver on both sides and to kind of pry that off. This other side has cables that are mounted on the end of this valve cover on these little bracket pieces. And it just slides right up, but before I could slide it up, I had to push on these little retaining clips in there. I had to push them that way to get those two to release. Then I could pull this straight up and slide it off those little brackets. Before you put your valve cover on, make sure you clean off your gasket surface really good. Over here in this area, there's a little bit of RTV at a joint. You can clean that off some, but make sure you don't disturb it too much. You may have to add a little more RTV just to, if the joint needs it. These star screws, get them snug, and then make sure you torque those. I looked up the torque value and it said 71 inch-pounds, which is roughly 6 foot-pounds. I suggest you look that up for yourself just to verify. Okay, now it's time to reinstall the coil pack. Right now is a good time to change the spark plugs if you haven't already. I did that recently, so I don't need to. Oh yeah, that's much better. I'll put a diagram of the torque sequence at the end of this video. Good luck!